If that's the case, that would throw SBTC off guard for sure.
That would be okay. We're seeing the Thresh, the Akeno special once again, but I think that that's pretty interesting, given that BURIRAM United again. It was that Thai Icon series special. We did see the Lulu come out again and again. Perhaps that could be the key for BURIRAM United. They really need to break out and think of something outside of the box right now, especially since whoever wins this game is going to the Horizon Cup.
Oh, they're picking TF again. So here's the thing, picking Lulu against Stretch isn't the best idea, right? You're gonna lose a lane so hard. Yeah.
I guess that is going to be the mindset now. It's going to be still a supporter on that Galio, which SBTC says, hey, we're not going to pick the Ezreal into this matchup. Still Corki. Corki meaning that, he can stand toe-to. Wait a minute. Double 80 carry? Double poke?
I'm not sure about this, because if SBTC still runs Nunu, this seems like a reasonable draft, but it's almost a 4-man damage composition, right? With only Thresh Hook and possibly Apprehend from Darius.
That is true. That is true. That is exactly why SBTC should definitely win this early game. They should make sure that they can snowball, or else BURIRAM, again, Galio, Jarvan 4, really big frontliners for the side of BURIRAM, and they're basically there to set up for Kinemon, and I really like the Xin Zhao pick, actually. What do you think, Jess?
Yeah, they gotta win the early game, right? But they're picking double carry as well, so it's gonna be hard though, right?
Yeah, and so now that we're seeing the draft come in, Riku, which way do you think it's gonna go? We're at ground zero right now. It's a 2-2. It's gonna come down to this match. What do you think? Who are we favoring?
It's so hard because for the first time ever in a while, we saw Kinemon having no kills and just plainly deaths on his KDA, and we praise him to be such a consistent player despite BURIRAM losing and winning. He's just always online no matter what. So we'll see if other Kinemon comes online. I believe in the Kaisa.
We'll see. You see our analysts over here with their hands on their heads. It's gonna be a tough one indeed as we come to Game 5 of this series. Casters, take us into the Rift.
Game 5! Woo!
And TJ, if you liked a single ADC before, well, you're gonna love a double ADC composition from SBTC now.
I am loving this double AD carry composition, and I think that the way SBTC have decided to play it is entirely around the way that Kirol and Julie like to play. They have the early game advantage down bottom in the hands of Kirol, and he's going to be able to build so much from TF's Riven. And then in the mid lane, you've got Julie. He's scaling to the lake no matter what. He's playing on, guess what, a Corki. There's nowhere for BURIRAM to win this game in the early or late game. Their only window, their only hopes are pinned on their own star mid laner. It's Archony who needs to go huge on this Twisted Fate and grab BURIRAM an opportunity, force a window open in the middle of this match.
But if there's any one play on BRU to put your hopes on, I mean, it has to be on Archony. And look at his bot side, though. Kirol, he's so cracked.
He's so good, and he's playing Ezreal, an undervalued character, and demonstrating why it's undervalued, able to step up and provide so much early damage, and if he gets rolling once that Barabana completes, he's going to do so much mid and late game damage as well, as we saw last game.
Look at the moves coming through. Akino's going to go in with the death sentence once again. Finds supporter, forces flash away. Shiba tries to jump in. When becomes lightning, goes across. But with the Corki coming in, they have to back away.
And I want to highlight two things about that interaction. First of all, that happens because Kirol earns a lane advantage. And what that whole fight meant was that Kinemon, and in fact nobody on BURIRAM, got the gold from that minion wave. It crashed against the turret and died. So BURIRAM lose the bottom Scuttlecrab, and they lose the gold from the... ooh, huge fight!
Huge fight set up by supporter, but he's the first to fall either way. They trade back for one. There we have it, Shiba. He's jumping in. This is big for BRU. They found them. They found 3. This is the only game lead they needed.
A massive advantage for BURIRAM, but I don't know why SBTC went for it. All their damage is down bottom. It's in Kirol, it's in TF on the Riven, and neither of those players are there to scrap for the topside scuttle crab. SBTC get antsy. It feels like they got nervous and go for an over-aggressive fight, and BURIRAM are able to punish them with a massive win for Shiba on the Xin Zhao. He now presents so much for his team, and he needs to be joined by Archony, who did also get gold from that fight. They need to blow open this game as a mid-jungle duo, or BURIRAM are in real trouble.
We saw massive success from Shiba on the Olaf in the previous games, and well, he's kind of gone back to that similar role now, playing for the Xin Zhao. I mean, he has some level of damage to take down Minas, TF in the front lines.
Yeah, Xin Zhao is really good in those first couple of moments if he can get early engages, because he has so much CC and damage compared to almost every other jungler. He's like a mini Jarvan and also a mini Olaf in the early games, which allows you to take fights like that, where you step up into the front lines. Someone like Julie just isn't doing damage to you from range. A very good fight for Shiba, a very good spot for BURIRAM. Just questioning why SBTC went for it.
Moving together as a unit, they were there to collapse in on BRU, and it seemed like they had a good moment for a second there. BRU turned that around really well.
Yeah, I mean, they just didn't have their damage with them. Yeah, they had Julie there, but he doesn't do anything. He's just a little floating, like, mood lamp right now. He's a lava lamp just floating around the room. And it's cool. It looks really nice, but he doesn't hurt.
Sure.
It's not real lava, you know that about lava lamps?
You've just broken the illusion for me, TJ. I don't know what to expect anymore. I don't know what to believe anymore.
I was really upset when I learned that too. First strike of the game is up. That's going to be an Infernal down bottom, and SBTC collapse on it. They want to take control of this early game back, and BURIRAM did not have the map positioning to punish him.
They're moving in quick, and like you mentioned, they don't have the map position to punish them, so they're going to have to give this one up. Destiny was pumped for this, so they know where they are. They're going to make their way towards the Rift Tower.
I'm wondering if Minas is going to get checked here. So I picked this thread up during the last game, and I think I will convert on it now, which is Minas stays topside for that dragon fight. He, last game, rotated down for the dragon fight for kind of the first time this series. And what that indicates to me is when Minas has a gold lead, he's staying in lane to grow it. When Minas is behind, good, flash forced. When Minas is behind, he's going to come down and fight with the team. But whilst he's ahead, Minas is going to try and continue growing this gold lead. As you can see, he's done so that he can be an additional teamfight carry, an additional teamfight threat. And with 4,000 gold in the bank, he's doing exactly that. He's currently clearing jungle because he knows there's no way he can hold that wave into it as we do get back into this game. And Minas has stepped up to defend his turret here.
Nice flash away. That was instantaneous there, TJ. Really good. Rift Tower going to be used to find a turret in the Baron lane. Once again, we're seeing the same repeated steps taken by BRU. Put emphasis towards their Baron lane.
And it's very difficult for BURIRAM to turn this round. Let's talk through how they do it, because again, this is game 5.
Is this
They're going for it. They find these picks.
That's what they turn it around? They're going onto Julie first, not able to do more damage onto the Corki. He's going to get away. Mina's locked into the pit, into the Cataclysm, but he's so tanky with the Gargoyle Stoneplay. When becomes lightning comes across, they take down Noel, but Minas has fallen as well. TF now joins in, flashing forward with the third hit of the Q. Gets the knockout back onto supporter Galleon. No place to run on the opposite end of the map. They've managed to find a little bit more work done with actually going over, but supporter will fall through his trade.
Really well played by BURIRAM. They find the opportunities they need to. Grabbing a bot lane turret, grabbing a top lane turret. TP now in.
Oh, gold card's ready, and they're looking for Aquino here. Might be able to get the kill, but she was taking way too much damage. Way too quickly. Flashed away from Archony. Won't get anything there.
But here's the problem. SBTC can still outfight you. TF, Minas do so much damage. They did such a good job managing that economy. And we see a little bit of what I was talking about during the break, where what do you gank onto? Where do you provide pressure if you're BURIRAM? Because you lose all of these fights.
It's a single Rod of Ages for Archie at this point. He didn't have the damage that he did. They overestimated how much they had. Shiba unfortunately went down, and that's a shutdown. Shiba's 4-0 at that point. Now he's 4-1. Is going to slow down the tempo that they had already built for the jungler.
And how on earth can BURIRAM save this, save their Horizon Cup hopes. Now that they've tried their teleport plays and they haven't paid off, they did bring the gold lead back even because they did take 2 turrets there. But if you look at where their gold is, it's not where they need it to be. It's not on Kinemon. It's instead on Shiba, who's going to fall off very hard in this mid-game. Archony is going to have his power spike in a moment as he completes Lich Bane. And I think he might be the entirety of BURIRAM. I think Archony might need to just single-handedly save this game.
He's become quite a powerful, well, damage source from the side of BRU. Kinemon is scaling up a little bit ahead of Kiro. But pound for pound, a little bit less effective than Jezreel.
And this is the window, right? We're going to the mid game right about now. And this is the window with Lich Bane complete where Archony needs to deliver, where BURIRAM needs to deliver. Because that Corki's coming online, that Riven isn't getting any smaller, and Kirill's about to complete his Muramana, find massive damage as well. BURIRAM need to strike now. They need to win fights now if they want to go to the Horizon Cup.
Tactic just up and ready for Julie. There we go. Death sentence across. Shiva tries to jump in, pulls out the Crescent Guard in the well. Pulls the trigger to jump into the back of SBTC. They try and jump out, but supporters coming in big as well with a 3-man knockup. Unfortunately, damage not there, not afforded for BRU to continue this aggression.
And they can't find the fight. They play it well, they get the setup, but they can't find the damage. They don't have anything to get past Minas, to get past Darkano. And here comes the Dragon.
Run it back. They're here to repeat this again. 2 of the best teams in the world butting heads right around the Dragon Pit. Archony comes with the gold card, unable to take them down. Kinemon falls in the process. It's huge for SBTC.
And Minas just holds the front line. Kirill steps up, provides the damage alongside Julie, and BURIRAM are shattered by the Dragon Pit as SBTC's gold lead continues to grow, and they get ever closer to a reverse sweep, to a ticket to Horizon, and a ticket to the grand final of the SCA Championship.
And pressure on BRU here, TJ. They came into this series with a 2-0 lead. They had 2 games under their belt. They needed 1 more to secure the spot in the Horizon Cup. Unfortunately, SBTC have been pulling it back.
Watch Kirill right here at the bottom of the fight. If you see him just sit there and have a free firing field, a narrow choke point, that's what Ezreal wants. He just wants people to be standing in a very narrow, like horizontal swath in front of him. So you don't even need to aim at that point. You can just be tapping the skill shot buttons and having a great time.
It's building up to become even stronger as well. Kinemon's starting to fall off now. He might have had some damage before, but starting to not stack up compared to what we see from Julie and from Kirill. Shiba's been having a difficult time. He's been trying to lead the charge, initiate for the team. Archie's coming in now. Gold card over on the Kirill, who's dashed in. He has to flash over the wall. Re-engage coming in for Kinemon, who's dashed in with Killer Instinct, but he's dead!
Kinemon uses the Killer Instinct to try and get shielding, but there's just no way he survives that. And what a flash in from Julie!
It's the wrong move, though. They can't take him down. They don't have the damage. SBTC dive in for a triple kill in the mid lane.
Julie flash barrier underneath the turret, and he gets the kills. And this is going to be SBTC with the Baron, unless Shiba does something remarkable.
Mina's hot on his tails, is looking to use the upper hand to pull him out. He's into the pit, he's taken down Julie, but without the damage, the finish off the rest whip becomes lightning, almost takes down Carol. They're chasing after this kill, they'll finally get it. But BRU's coming back up and the Baron resets.
That's huge from Shiba. He's done so much. Here comes the TP. Archony looking for it.
Void Seeker, it blocks it, it stops the recall. Aquino can't go back and they can't reset.
BURIRAM can't take the Baron either, not without their jungler, but what a heroic performance from Shiba as he keeps BURIRAM in this game almost single-handedly.
An intense moment for BRU. Single misstep could cost them this series, and they have to hold on. Individual mechanical plays have been what has been the shining moments for BRU, honestly, here, TJ.
Yeah. The star plays from Kinemon, from Noel, from Archony, now from Shiba, are what has built the bridges that BURIRAM have walked all the way here on to the winner's final. A win here takes them to the grand final and books them one of the 2 slots out of this tournament to the international tournament, the Horizon Cup. A loss here puts them down in the lower bracket, where they still will have a chance. They'll have to fight with elimination nipping at their heels against the best in Southeast Asia. for that ticket to Horizon, for that path back into the grand final.
More matches to play. A difficult spot to drop down lower there. So they have to try and close things out here, TJ.
All of BURIRAM gathering up top. Kinemon racing in here. SBTC want to force a fight now.
But surely they can't. Surely they can't look for this. Noel jumps in as a Catalyst to lock in the back line. Kiro's unable to get away. Julie's stuck in there as well, but he lacked the damage to finish him off. Minas misses out the chance of the reset, but the Emperor Hand will pull back Shiba. And SBTC win the fight in the top lane.
And BURIRAM, they're trying to challenge for a fight up there, and they just can't hold those turrets. They need to be angling for something, but they have nowhere to start because SBTC are just grouping up. They know that BURIRAM's only path into the game is through assassinations, picks, finds from archery. So SBTC are covering the map as this 5-man, just absolute murder squad, and there's nothing that BURIRAM can do to pry them apart, to find opportunities. Very good pickup from Archony there. We'll grab the Rift Scuttler. That'll mean that SBTC, when they do this Dragon, are going to be on vision. But I don't know if that means anything. BURIRAM, their window is closing before we get into the Corki late game, and they're so far behind.
BRU. Well, they've lost a lot of tempo here. Another Dragon's going to go over to SBTC Esports, and well, things are looking dire for this team who are still holding on the best that they can. But it seems like they haven't been able to identify the issues they've caused in the past 2 games.
I mean, they couldn't get anything done during the early game, during the mid game where their window was. And now we're here. Look at the damage coming up from Kirol and Julie. Look at SBTC marching towards the grand final and the first qualification to the Horizon Cup.
And it's so difficult for them to defend against this. They're now stepping up against Julie, against Kirol, who have 2 incredibly fast-pushing champions. 2 of these marksmen now looking very strong. Shiba is doing the best that he can, trying to prevent the turrets from going down, but the bomb side will fall eventually. And they're just going to have to retreat back into base.
And with the inhibitor gone, we're going to keep pushing. They need to save this turret.
Noel's jumped in now with the heroic entrance following through, but Noel's the first to fall. Mina splashes in, looking to take one down. But
He's
Julie,
huge.
Kirol, the double ADC composition, too much damage. And there we have it. SBTC Esports, get your passports ready. You are the first Southeast Asian champions, representatives into the Horizon Cup.